Okay, hopefully I can get everything done in this video and get what I want to do accomplished here. Lots of things I've been trying to remember. So first, before I forget, I want to talk about several YouTubers here. One of them is Geez Mikey, and the other one is Celebrity Signings. And Geez Mikey basically has a really nice video on how to display your sports cards in your collection using a hook and pegboard method. It's a really cool video. Check that out. I was going to do something like that for my Hot Wheels maybe at some point. The other thing is that Celebrity Signings is a UK TTMer, and check out his channel if you haven't already. And I wanted to show you his comment here. Basically he says, yeah, UK stamps are changing at the moment, so they now have barcodes on them. After June, I believe, any unbarcoded stamps are no longer usable. So if you have any stamps for overseas to the UK, basically they're going to be worthless. I mean, maybe some small collector value, but when they changed the decimal stamps back in the 70s or whatever, to pence or whatever, those stamps became absolutely useless. A lot of people made the mistake of still using them on envelopes to this day, but for those people needing a TTM postage back to the States or whatever country that they're sending from. So if you're, France, Germany, Canada, any of those places, you're going to have to double check and maybe send some other cash or find some other kind of resource for your stamps. And if you have autograph requests out that take over a year, you may not get them back because somebody might just throw it in the box and not realize their stamps are toast. But they might, let a few slide. Speaking of mail here, this is the only piece of mail that came in, and one of the postal carriers or somebody is screwing up my requests here. They're destroying them. So they're taking my postal requests and taking a black Sharpie and autographing them right through the middle of the stamps. Every single stamp has been beautifully canceled here, and they have decided to just whoop right through the stamps there. That's absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to go to the post office and see if it's one of their drivers or whatever, or one of their clerks, because if it's somewhere beyond that, I can't control that. But this is ridiculous if you're having this is from Belvedere, Tiburon, California. Nice cancels, nice postcard there, and then a black Sharpie right through the center of it. I mean, they could have at least used blue Sharpie and made me feel a little bit better, but no, they had to destroy that. Then I went into town for a little bit today, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the Goodwill bins very, very quickly to see if my friend is there, and he had already jetted off there, and I spent just like $1.39 on some unimportant stuff, which I don't have to show at the moment. But the main reason I went is because down the road a little further is the Union Gospel Mission thrift store, and I wanted to do one important thing, and that was replace all these busted jewel cases here. I could have got some at the Goodwill bins, but it's hectic and I just didn't feel like, messing with it. But these were 25 cents a piece to replace brand new jewel cases. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do that. And sometimes it's worth it to grab any brand new factory sealed CD. I don't know anything about String Concertos Bach on Black Dot Records Volume 3. I mean, if that's a super rare one, let me know and I might be able to sell that or something. I have no idea. Sometimes I throw these in care packages for those people who like that kind of stuff, or put them, for a couple bucks, whatever. But anyway, so I spent a few dollars there. I think I spent a whopping $4. And then I got these. I got With Honors with Joe Pesci, Brendan Fraser, Maura Kelly, Patrick Dempsey, and Josh Hamilton. And I have the Mark of Zorro. I replaced the case with a Blockbuster one. This case was all beat up. And unfortunately, I did not realize the artwork is getting smashed in there. So I'm going to have to change out the case or trim the artwork. I'm not really sure. We'll figure that one out. But these were $1 a piece for those. So that's pretty cool to grab those. And then the other thing I want to talk about before I get way too far into here, it's interesting, when you've been on YouTube for a long time. I was watching a Chips video, and I said something like, too bad the Chips Season 3 is not coming out in the United States. Well, it's already out. It's been out for a long time, but that was 9 years ago I made that remark. So basically, nobody had favored it, nobody liked it, nobody said anything about it, so I deleted that comment. And that's a nice thing. You can go back sometimes if you find your old comments and delete them. But I wish there was a way that you could trail all your comments there, because there's some dumb things that I've said, or I misspoke and I meant to say something else, or I'd like to kind of follow it up. But the other thing is that so I was looking up Chips Season 3 and it's like 20 or 30 bucks. And, even if you go to a used DVD store, thrift store, you rarely find any 70s or 80s television comedies or dramas. You just never find that stuff. But you'll find like 90s, 2000s, more recent stuff. You might have a better chance of finding Mad Men, some season of whatever else. So that is what that is. Now, let's get into what I wanted to talk about here. And you've seen this all before. These are the Olympic cards here. And I just noticed something. So, barring any kind of, well, I should find the right example here. I'm just going to go to this card right here. This is Chris Von Salza, and hopefully we can get this to work here. We want to go to this one here. I just want to go to her particular name here. So, Chris Von Salza. I want to show you all the listings for Chris Von Salza. So wait a minute, what do we have here? We got 2 Chris Von Salzas with different photographs. What is that all about? This is the 7-Eleven edition, and this is the Greatest Olympians Topps version, okay? Or whatever you want to call it. They're all Topps cards, essentially. So it's like, well, that's weird. What's wrong here? Well, nothing with that. And there's one that somebody's had autographed here. Chris Von Salza, I think, is a pretty good autograph signer. But we want to go here, and it turns out on the base set here, we go to card number 47. We got Chris Von Salza A and Chris Von Salza B. So what that is that there's an error card right here. We have, this is the corrected photo without the cap, and supposedly this is the wrong photograph. I don't know who that is, but I'm pretty sure it's Carolyn Schuler. Don't know. I don't think she signs. I'm not really sure. I have her address in Portland, Oregon. But there's Carolyn Schuler, and I want to say that that could be. Now, it could be somebody from a different team, though. Or, I mean, a different year. This is 1960, and that has a kind of a Carolyn Schuler look to it. I don't quote me on that. I could be completely 100% wrong. But when they have their swim cap on, see if I can zoom in on this very quickly. So there is that picture. Let's see if there's any resemblance here. So there's that person right there. The reason I'm having to figure this out is because, and there's Carolyn Schuler right there. Zoom in on that right there. Sorry, there. So that could very well be. The reason is because nobody has listed who the other person is. I mean, if you have an error card, wouldn't the thing to know is who the other player is? I've looked all over eBay to see if anybody knows. I looked over trading card database, and that's what I just looked at, trading card database here. But the other interesting thing about the set here is card number 69, who is Jean-Claude Killy, if that's how you pronounce that, Killy. He's a alpine skier of some kind. I don't know. I think. But you see, there's a checklist. And when I bought my set many years ago for $5-10, it was not much at all. I did not get the checklist card. That would make that card set 101 cards if you got the error card. Obviously, you wouldn't get the error card. So I know nothing about the error card other than the fact and the checklist is that there was a seller on eBay that had the error and the corrected card for $1 a piece, free shipping. And then the checklist, I think, was $1.50 plus $1 shipping. So it was about $2.50 for the checklist and $1. And if you remember my video from yesterday that I found that Don Mattingly 7-Eleven card for $1, that guy had something like over 1,000 Mattingleys for sale in his collection, which is absolutely astounding. I don't have that open right now. I was just looking up Chips Season 3 and, just seeing what the value of that is. There's a bundle set and bundle sets and bundle sets. Season 3 must have come out somewhere between 9 years ago and today, because it's looking like it is $20. That's a little bit much for a DVD after I just spent $2 a piece and 25 cents for CDs. But anyway, I might grab that one of these times here. I don't know how far I got into the DVD set. I think I got at least 3 or 4 of the DVDs, so I'm just about there. But the other thing is that, like I said, I bought those Mattingleys, and then, get out of this card here, and then I noticed he had 1,000 Mattingleys, so I found another Mattingly I didn't have. I didn't feel like I wanted to go through my checklist and look for every single Mattingly that I didn't have, but there's so many variants and, foil variations and other similar cards from base sets because I used a lot of various similar poses for cards. So it's very confusing. So this is under 10 minutes, thank goodness. I like to keep my videos under 10 minutes, but it's not always easy to do. But it just, hard playing catch up, and like I said, February is going to be no card February for me unless I do TTM, send things out and stuff coming back in. So I want to focus on some other stuff, and hope you enjoyed that, got some information out of that, and thank you for watching.